All right, everybody, we got a good one for you on Top 5 tonight. We're listing our top 5 favorite inventions since we were born.
Welcome to Top 5 with Joey Cassata. Starring Joey Cassata.
Team Jesus, my friend. Am I walking around, Mark?
Co-starring Ernie Palooza. And the Dr. Tommy Snyder.
Goddamn.
Now here's your host, Joey Cassata.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Top 5. I'm your host, Joey Cassata.
And I'm Thomas Ernieson.
Oh, good. That, you know what? That could be in your lifetime, Ernie. You're pretty old. Nice. And returning with the beautiful Mets hat, World Baseball Classic fan, Greg Prosser, joining us tonight. What's up, buddy?
Doing well. I'm hoping Ernie doesn't jump on my leg and blow out my patella tendon. So
What?
Nah, it's a story only Met fans will understand and get, Ernie. It's classic Met fan history. They're about to go to the World Series. They just spent more money than any team has ever spent in the history of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And their closer just happened to be playing in a little exhibition baseball game that he didn't need to play in. And he didn't get hurt playing, of course, because that would be, too easy.
Yeah.
They won. They won the game, and he's jumping up and down, and he tore his knee.
Somebody jumped into him.
Well, even worse.
But it's
out for the season.
Typical Mets, right? Because if it's a fielder, we just bring someone else up. You could replace them. If it's a starter, there's 4 other ones. It has to be the one position. There's only
only one of.
Yeah.
I thought you were roasting my kid. About his broken leg or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, that's right. That would have been pretty harsh. I like that. He would have came over with his fighting jacket right now, Greg.
He would put his jacket on and punch me in the nose again.
So everyone else disappointed us tonight. We had the doctor lined up. Big Head Billy was floating in and out all week long. Steve the Greek is nowhere to be found. They disappoint us left and right. But Greg came through. Ernie almost couldn't make it on tonight because something was wrong with his internet or Zoom or just his computer skills. But we're here tonight. I think we got a good one tonight. This is one I thought of the other day. I don't even know. I was watching something, and I said, yeah, that would be a good one. Now, we got a couple of Ernie rules tonight. But before we get into those, let's talk about last week. Ernie, we had some great responses last week. Even Greg chimed in, gave us some of his binge-worthy TV shows that I haven't started yet. We had our buddy Dino jump in, and he has been texting us all week, Greg. Dean is on a Friday Night Lights rampage right now. He's texting us messages, Lila, that whore, and this one, that one, and why is Smash doing this? And so every 2 minutes, I'm at my son's basketball game before, and I'm getting messages from Dean about Friday Night Lights. It's great.
I read the book, but I never saw I saw the movie and the book. I've never seen the series. It's on my list to start.
And I'm the opposite. Never read the book, never saw the movie.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that actor that's in it went on to Bloodline, which is another great one if you haven't seen it on Netflix.
Which actor?
Bloodline, the main guy.
Higgins?
The
the coach. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's
Kyle
a great.
Chandler, maybe?
I don't remember his name. He's in a lot of stuff, but
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Kyle Chandler, right?
Yeah.
But for tonight, the Inventions one. So I don't want to go super nerdy and what's going to help save the world and blah blah. But you guys can do whatever you want. I'm going. What immediately affected me? What's making my life better? What gave me the most enjoyment? So on and so forth. I'm picking my favorite inventions. Are they the best inventions of mankind? 100% not. But I don't care about mankind. I care about myself. So that's what I'm thinking. Now, Ernie, we got some Ernie rules tonight. The two big ones I figured we'd take right off the table. Can't call the internet, or you can't use cell phone. Those are two big ones I think probably would have made all our lists, right? Ish.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I figured let's just remove those because it's going to take two of our picks away. We're all going to match those. So let's start first. Did you guys have any criteria? Ern, what'd you do as far as what route did you go down?
Well, when you said take off internet, I thought you meant take off computers totally. So, I
No,
took computers off, and then
okay.
Tom said video games.
No, but
And
don't listen. You can put video games on. That's him. He's an idiot.
My list is already made too. Can't go back now.
Yeah.
It's already printed out.
Uh-oh.
Nice. Is it printed or handwritten?
Nice loose leaf paper written in has to be number 2 pencil.
Yeah, and what is the loose leaf has to be what? Lined something, right? There was a rehold.
What about you, Greg?
My props.
Yeah.
I'm surprised your wife let you touch that. She probably screamed, "Don't you break that light bulb, Ernie."
Oh, there is one more criteria that that maybe I misunderstood. It had to be during my lifetime.
Yes, during your lifetime. Right. Exactly right. That was the one rule.
My kid heard said your lifetime? Said, how about the wheel?
Did you snap his other leg? Uh-oh, no laughs on the crickets on that one.
You got really serious on that.
Whoa. Uh-oh. I live too far for him to come with his fighting jacket, and he knows he can't show his face in my neighborhood anymore after that throw-up incident. All the neighbors have a watch out. We have a neighborhood watch. If he even enters the neighborhood, the sirens go off, the spotlights go on, and we kick him right the hell out again.
Yeah.
What about you, Greg?
Sirens in your neighborhood?
No, what fire?
No, like if there's fire or ambulance needed, do you have sirens that go off, or?
Not really. I mean, obviously the fire trucks and stuff like that have their own sirens, but we don't have like neighborhood sirens. Why, you guys have that?
Yeah, out on Long Island. Like if it goes 3 times, it's a ambulance call. If it goes 9 times, it's a fire.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's loud and annoying. But...
Is it just to alert the whole neighborhood?
Yeah, it's for the volunteer firemen.
Right.
Yeah, from their homes to the trucks, I guess.
I don't know if I'm sure you know this, and we've talked about it on a previous episode. Ernie happens to be a hero. He tells everyone.
He saved someone in a dollar van, right?
By himself.
Greg, Greg might have been there.
Greg was there too.
The bar that day.
No, I came later. I was actually at the Jet playoff game. Vinny Testaverde, first Jet playoff game in years.
Is that the last Jet playoff game too?
Might have been the last win for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, my criteria, I just put it together real quick. It was like things that made my life easier.
I love it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's just jump right in. Come on, Greg, you start us off.
I'm gonna go with something that I would say about 5 years ago, I leased a Jeep. No, I'm sorry, I'll go even longer. Maybe about 10 years ago, I bought a Nissan Maxima, and it had one of the greatest inventions ever, a heated steering wheel.
Really?
Now, I don't know if you've owned cars with heated steering wheels, but once you have a heated steering wheel, you cannot buy another car that does not have the heated steering wheel.
I've not only never had one, I don't think I've ever even tried one. I got to try this out.
It is like you don't even need heat. You just turn that thing on and keep your hands on the wheels, and it's like it's having those packets in your hands the whole time.
Wow. Now, give me the time frame. Start the car, because obviously you want it. You have the automatic start on it too, or no?
Well, that's another invention, but wait, I didn't use that one. But yeah.
Did you? Because if you don't have, let's say you don't have the automatic start, you sit in your car, you start your car. How fast does that steering wheel pump up?
Within a minute.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's not like the heat. So you get the heated steering wheel
right
before you get the heat. You got to drive a little bit before it's blowing a little cold air.
Right.
But the heated steering wheel gets hot quick with the heated seats. So I'll just go heated seats, heated steering wheel. Same thing.
Very nice. I like
you have heated seats, right?
Heated seats, yes, I've had in the past. Very great for the hemorrhoids. My buttocks goes tingles all over the place when I pump those on.
The asteroids.
The asteroids, yes, as Ernie would call them. Ernie, correct me if I'm wrong. Greg just reminded me of something. I feel like every time I've ever gotten in your car when it was winter, your dad always had a rule, and you used to follow it too. You were not allowed to pull out until the car was fully heated up. Am I right?
My dad, yes. I think the old cars had to get heated up.
Which
But
is
not
amazing.
just the heat in the car. I mean, like the engine, you'd wait for it to be off of cold.
No, you wait for the RPMs to be less than 1,000 or a minute.
I remember screaming at anytime we get in the car, Ernie, come on, let's go. Kid, we gotta wait. My dad said we gotta wait. We can't go pit. We gotta wait for the meter to go pit here.
Well, I just want to say one thing to that. It's amazing Ernie ever came out of his house in the winter because his house was never warm because his father wouldn't put on the heat.
I remember that.
Nah, not good enough.
Give me the average temperature in your house as a kid in the winter.
You would see your breath inside as well. Let's put it that way.
57 at most.
It was like the Exorcist bedroom.
Yeah.
Good, Ernie. Have you ever had a heated steering wheel?
No.
Oh, you guys are missing out. Let me tell you. Once you have it, you can't go backwards.
Greg seems very privileged, right? This is, to me, this is a start that I can't imagine a lot of the listeners in today's day and age are going to appreciate. They're going to say, look at this fucking guy. Heated steering wheel. Come on.
Yeah, especially the Australians.
I can't imagine the Australians can afford a heated steering wheel. Is this right, Ern?
They don't need them. It never gets above, never goes below 70 there.
Oh, it doesn't get cold there?
I don't think so.
The Australians just grab a snake and cut it and they use the heat.
The blood. Just like flip it inside out. Nice.
A cobra.
Oh, cutting snakes. He's making me feel Aussie.
Come on, Ernie. What do you got?
My number 5 would be the GPS. Nobody will ever be lost again. Ever.
That is
It was on my list.
Oh, that'll be coming up on my list too, but that is a fucking big one.
Yeah.
We will never feel what being lost feels like. It's just a memory now.
Not only that, but do you remember having to go to a gas station to buy a map when you were going out of town?
Of course.
And like trace it all the way through? I have memories of Ernie's dad and my dad opening up a map on the hood of my dad's car and like tracing the highways upstate. And Bob knew, like, oh no, you don't want to go on that one. That one's like 2 lanes and it's going to be backed up. And I'm like, I still have that memory of like.
When we toured with Kiss ZO2, GPSs were kind of just coming into existence, but they were expensive still. So it wasn't commonplace to have your own GPS. That like things like MapQuest, and remember MapQuest?
Yeah.
You'd like print out the directions before you had a GPS at home. MapQuest would have directions, but for the whole ZO2 Kiss tour, we did 20,000 miles. We did the whole country and then back again. We had, whoever was in the passenger seat would have the giant map open every night, middle of the night, 4 a.m, and we would trace here's the route we got to take tonight. And we would take the route, and half the time we'd go 3 hours the wrong way. We'd have no idea. You wouldn't get that rerouting signal. We'd be following the map. I'm like, yeah, I don't recognize any of these numbers right here. Hold on a second. We're in Albuquerque. We're going the wrong way. Turn right. We got to go east, you idiot. And that's the way it was.
The paper map doesn't do recalculating?
Doesn't recalculate. I think I had it upside down at one point. That was my recalculating. I go, well, hold on a second. Okay, now I feel better.
I love it. The alternative.
What?
Buddy Holly's plane.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
Ernie, this is a morbid episode so far.
I was thinking in Dumb and Dumber when they're lost and they look at the map The map says we only went 3 inches.
One of my favorites is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when they're on the wrong side of the highway. John Candy
Best line
crosses the
ever.
highway, and they're driving, and this car's driving next to them, kind of next to them, it looks like, and they're like, roll down the window. You're going the wrong way. And Steve Martin's like, what? What? He's like, he like hits John Candy. He goes, they said we're going the wrong way. John Candy goes, they're drunk. How do they know where we're going? Yeah. And Steve Martin goes, yeah, how do they know where we're going? All right, thank you.
Well, you ever think about that scene makes no sense because then the other car next to them would also be going the wrong way.
No, then he looked down and he realized the divider was between them.
Oh, okay.
So they're going the same way down the highway, but there's a divider. So there's 2 highways. One of them is wrong. Great scene.
That's one of his best lines.
Oh,
John
100%.
Candy. How does he know where we're going? And he starts doing that.
He's drunk. Thank you. I'm sure Snyder's had that happen at least 2-3 times. All right, great start, Ernie. Mine. So this was a big one for me. In my house as a kid, the phone rang. It was like World War III. Nobody wanted to answer the phone, especially because we had this one aunt. If you got stuck on the phone with this lady, you're on the phone minimum an hour. Minimum, you're stuck. So we all our friends would be calling, but we were so afraid to answer because we wouldn't want to get stuck with our Aunt Rose on the phone. So you answer, Ma, you answer, no, Danny, you answer, blah, 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 you answer. No one wanted to answer, but someone had to answer because we all had our friends calling to go out and do stuff. So caller ID. When caller ID came out, it was like the heavens opened up in my house. We could screen the calls, never mind the answer machine, but just caller ID. And I could see that number go up. Oh, it's blah, blah, blah. It's Brian O'Grady calling. Hey, OG, what's happening? It's not, yeah, it's not. I knew it wasn't Aunt Rose. That's why I picked up. So that for me in my house growing up was, I almost made it number 1, but I put it at number 5 just to start off on a good note. What about you guys?
Absolutely. It was on my list actually too, as a honorable mention.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you guys like that as kids? Like, were you, again, I only was like that because I had this aunt that would kill us on the phone. What about like your house growing up? Did you like to answer the phone?
I did. Yes, I did. I actually still do. I mean, when I'm in the teacher workroom and all the teachers, I jump up and I run in front of the other teachers going for the phone.
Oh my God. What about you, Greg?
Hello, room 204.
No, it was absolutely. Once you realized who was on, having the ability to know who was on the phone before them calling saved. I mean,
it was everything.
Everything.
Not only would you say, "Oh, I don't want to talk to them," but you'd know how to answer that phone. You'd say, "Okay, it's this person or it's that person," or you'd have immediately, something in your head you could talk about. To me, saved so many conversations in my world. All right, moving along. Greg, come on, number 4.
Number 4. I remember I was probably one of the last houses on the block to have this.
Lights?
Remote control.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like, I literally grew up not having a color TV or remote control until I was almost 12 or 13 years old. And to get up, and there was only 5 channels anyway, but
still, you got to flip.
You would have to go and flip to get up.
Of course.
And the fact that you could just sit back and have this thing that looked like it was a small car and, it would change the channels for you was, I mean, it was like astounding. It was absolutely amazing to me. And then once you got cable and you had 150 channels, then you would just, you couldn't have cable without a remote control.
Oh, no way. No way. Oh, I mean, I don't think I had a remote until I'm going to guess I didn't get cable until I was about 16. Where I was,
Yeah.
So
We
again,
got it at 18.
When you were in Marine Park, I'm assuming it's the same for me. Like, I moved out of Marine Park when I was 16. I moved to Bergen Beach. But when I moved out in 89, 90, there was still no cable on my block. Did you guys have cable in 90?
We got it in 89, 90.
Right. So I must have just missed it because when I moved, I didn't have cable yet. So, and in 90, I was about 16. When I moved to Bergen Beach was literally my first remote and my first cable. I would literally, when I grew up, I had, you had the big giant piece of furniture television. I would lay on the floor in front of my television and literally like change the channels with my feet. Because I'd have, my head back here and my foot would be like on the channel changer and I'd go like this. And even before that, we had the dial. And,
Yes.
we'd just flip
That's
it.
what I remember, the dial.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, it would always break. The dial would break off because you'd be turning it so much.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you remember, Joe, the old metal skates, the metal wheels, had a skate key that would turn the bolt.
It would fit. Oh, that's great.
It would fit onto the T. So when it broke, you got a skate key.
That's
and all
great.
my TVs would have skate keys that would turn the channel. That and a hanger for like rabbit ears or
reception. Oh, I always had a hanger, of course. Good, very good one. Aaron, what about you with the remote growing up? You had a remote growing up?
Not until later, as I just said. I remember the first cable box actually had buttons on top for the channels that you could have actually work it without a remote.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would.
I had WHT before I had cable. I had WHT in Marine Park, but even that, you didn't have a remote for it because it was just one station. It was just a little on button you'd flip on.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, great one. Yeah, I didn't even think of remote. Great one. Come on, Aaron. What do you got? Number 4.
My number 4. Now you got to imagine. This thing's a damn miracle. Try not to use it for a week, and you'll see. Microwave oven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any house can live without it now. Heck, you can live without the actual real oven, but the microwave oven you have to have.
You're probably right. If you gave me a choice, I choose the microwave over a real oven. I mean, not to cook, but if you had to take one away, take my oven away.
Yeah, I would say. Do you remember again? I remember when they came out. There was such controversy about.
Yeah, of course.
Are they going to cause cancer? How are they? What are they doing to the food? It was almost like scary eating. Like
my mother wouldn't get
13?
one. She refused to get one. My mother refused to get a microwave, and then she got one as a gift one year. And I'm not using this. I'm not even opening it. And we forced her to open up. As soon as we opened it and we started using it, and she realized how easy it was, never went back again. Yeah. I guess it was worth the cancer risk.
I thought you were going to say the second we opened the box, we all started melting.
It's like Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they would come out with like crazy ads, like "Don't put your cat in the microwave after wet." Like,
but if you really do think about it, it's pretty scary. I mean, I don't know exactly how it works, but it cooks from the inside out, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sends the microwave into the center and then heats it up inside out.
Insane.
Yeah.
Great pick, Ernie. All right. My number 4 is really more musician based. This was something that helped me tremendously, and it still does to this day. So when I first started recording, even with Playground and stuff, Ernie, everyone recorded, even back in forever, we recorded on big, giant reels of tape. Okay, so picture like for people who don't know what that means, picture a cassette tape, like a small cassette tape, but these are giant reels, almost, Greg, like old film reels, okay? Mm-hmm. Same type of deal. You'd record audio on.
Like the FBI tapes.
Exactly right.
The wiretaps.
And to do any kind of editing or dubbing or punching in, they call it, you'd literally have to, the editor would cut the tape, and this is the same with movies back then. You'd cut it with a razor blade.
I did that in radiology too.
And glue it back and put them back together.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
And more so for me, for not for editing purposes, because I wasn't the producer or the engineer, but for me, this thing called Pro Tools came out. And Pro Tools is just an automated MIDI version, if you want, of editing. You literally edit on a computer screen. Everything is a wave on a screen rather than a tape. So now, instead of me having to do a perfect drum track, or a vocalist having to do a perfect vocal, or a guitar player and have to do a perfect vocal all the way through, you could punch them in and edit wherever that mistake was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's seamless. Now, back in the day, you could do that kind of also, but it was very hard for the editor, and it was almost impossible for drums. Like, drums weren't an instrument you can really edit on. Other instruments were, because there were breaks and stuff. Drums, because of the resonance of the drums, wouldn't really, it was very hard to edit. But once Pro Tools came out, you could literally punch someone in right on the same beat, and it's seamless. So it made my life immeasurably easier.
Now, do you think that led to more music being produced, or?
Oh my God, of course. I mean, that's everything now. That's, everyone can record everything at their home now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, people still use big studios, but you don't have to anymore. You could record everything you do at home. I mean, I have a recording set up at home. You do it at home, you do it on Pro Tools, and then you don't even have to ever see the band member, which is really great, especially if you don't like your band members. And I can just record my drums, email it to the guitar player. The guitar player puts his stuff on, emails it to the bass player, so on and so forth. It's incredible.
I got two questions.
Yep.
One, what year did that come out?
I think it came out around somewhere around 1990. And then the home version, to really be accessible on laptops and it was to be affordable, I'm going to guess somewhere around the late 90s.
Yeah. That happened in the movie industry sometime with DSL cameras, came around probably in 07, 08.
Okay.
Where you could actually make your own movies. So it's interesting that it was still, 10 years, 17 years behind.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the second question I have is how easy or hard was it to use, and could Ozzy have done it?
Well, when it first came, obviously with anything, when it first came out, no laymen were using it. People weren't using it. Engineers who were trained with this stuff and to go to school for this stuff were the ones who were using it. So everyone didn't know how to use it. But then they made it simpler, and then everyone started to understand, oh, this is how this works. Just like video editing. I could sit and do video editing in my sleep now because I understand it. Because and it's the same thing as Pro Tools. It's video editing. I'm sure you do tons of video editing, Greg. Pro Tools is the same thing. It's just the audio version of that.
Yeah. Cool.
When Ozzy tried, the Pro Tools kept going, what?
No, I think Ozzy's favorite invention was something called auto-tune. I think that was he liked that invention.
And he also had like a hotkey that would go, Sharon.
Man, if Pro Tools would came out a little earlier, Playground could still be around.
If it wasn't for you, Ernie, Playground would still be around. But hold your horses, everybody. Literally, we got the text thread going today. You heard it here first. Greg, you ready? You sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
Possible. I like to say possible always. Playground reunion this summer.
Really?
Coming to a park near you. A free admission park near you.
We get school buses there?
Free admission, keg stands, funnels, bocce ball, whatever we could do.
Babbles is going to call Tommy in for work that day.
Well, that's why Tommy's not in tonight, because Babbles had to transfer him over. He heard we were doing the show. He said, no.
No. You're not doing no show.
Well, Tommy's so stupid. He records the episodes. Why can't he blur his background like you, Greg? You're going to teach him how to do that. I think it literally says Babbles' job right on the wall or something like that. Come on. Where the hell are we? Greg, back to you. Number 3.
I'm going real deep on this one. Again, it's what's made my life easier. And I don't know what component is in it, but sensitive shaving cream has changed my life.
Whoa, what the hell is happening here? Now we talking, where are we talking shaving here?
Face.
Okay, all right.
I would get such rashes on my neck after I shaved because I'm
Really?
like so Irish. I have that Irish skin. I would get like literally like look like I got beat up, ripped apart. And then someone, probably Gillette, came out with this aloe sensitive shaving cream, and no longer
Now,
my.
what does it even do? What does it do?
I think it moisturizes it while it's on your face, and it just doesn't cause any of the razor. What do
You
they
get those
call it?
razor bumps, right?
The burn, yeah, right,
Right,
razor
right,
burn.
right.
Yeah, we
So
get razor burn like crazy.
give me like a year. How long ago did you start using this?
Uh, I would say probably at 94, 95.
So, real question: you have not shaved since then without it?
That's correct. Yeah.
So we got to do an experiment.
Well, I had one time I was away and I had to shave and I had to use soap, just soap,
Right.
which I came out, it looked like somebody put me through like a wood
But
chipper.
and what year was that?
It's probably early 2000s.
Okay, so what I was trying to get at was I was gonna say maybe it was just like your youth, your skin when you were younger. I'm gonna guess you're over that now, but maybe you're not.
No, I can't do it.
It's
Yeah,
like
and then I we get into such fights in my house because the shit's expensive. It's like,
is it
and I got
Gillette
three,
or is it like a
I got
mail
three,
away cream?
huh?
Is it like a drugstore item or you get a
Yeah,
mail away?
it's Gillette. It has an orange cap. It says
Okay.
sensitive. All the other ones have different colored caps, right? So
I wouldn't mind seeing a commercial by Ernie for the Gillette sensitive shaving cream.
but I got three daughters and a wife who shave their legs with my sensitive shaving cream.
But
Like,
do
you know
they
how much that cost? I'm buying them the barber saw we used to use on Halloween.
99 cents
Yeah.
Barbasol if it's still I don't even know what it is anymore. But
So
it's funny because I'm almost the opposite. I have natural. I think olive oil pours out of my skin. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm a greasy mess. That's just how my skin is. I don't even. I could shave dry,
wow.
and nothing would happen.
Now you do a razor, straight razor, or
Now,
a
usually, I mean, I'll do a little bit of an electric just to get like if depending on how much of a shadow I have, and then I'll literally just in the shower take a regular disposable razor and just go boop 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 boop.
oh my god, you're not buying like special. I have to buy sensitive razor
Oh
blades that
my
go with the
god!
sensitive shaving cream.
What about you, Ernie? What is that little boyish face doing over there?
His head. What's he do his head with?
That's a good point. And
I
the
gotta
bottom.
get the what does he call it? The scrub. I gotta do that before I shave.
What scrub?
It's like
Yeah.
little tiny rocks. It feels like.
Yeah, he does
Okay.
like he's doing a cleanse, a facial
And
cleanse.
what does
Yeah.
this do? What does this do?
It supposedly it gets all the dead skin out of there. So when you shave it, I don't know.
It only pulls the hair and gets caught up.
And then after I shave, I gotta go right in the shower because I'm all bleeding. Yeah.
I
Maybe
remember.
it's a Madison Place thing.
I think it might be the water on Madison Place fucked you guys up. Because I remember I would say, Ernie, hey, let's go out tonight, grab a couple drinks. Oh no, I don't think it's worth it. I said, why? I would have to shave first. I said, you have to shave to go. So what? Shave quick. Well, I'll meet you in 20 minutes. No, it's gonna take me at least 2 hours.
It's a process.
It's
a whole process.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
No, I got a beard. I don't want to go through it anymore.
Ernie, you still go through this process too?
No, I just do the scrub in the after shower. I don't do I used to have pre-shave, post-shave, special balm for us the sun.
The bomb. Who told you to use the bomb? I didn't tell you to use the bomb.
Why do you keep doing the high pitched Eric from Howard Stern anyway?
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. You were high pitched Eric before high pitched Eric was. You know that.
That's right.
You were high pitched Ernie.
Overhead screamer.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Did you hear about overhead screamer?
No, I don't know this.
Somehow we started playing volleyball like all the time, and Ernie became obsessed with volleyball. And we'd be by the Avenue U, like in a little corner of the park. We would never hang out ever and play volleyball there. And as Ernie would serve, he'd go, "Overhead screamer!"
Did he ever make it over the net?
He did.
Nice.
I don't know how, but he had to hit it up.
Overhead screamer.
First of all, we got so into volleyball, if you remember, that when we played, we wouldn't even keep score.
Yeah.
That's how much fun we were
Like
having.
full game, like 5-on-5. What would you do?
Yeah.
Well, everybody
3-on-3,
walking off and
2-on-2,
on because to
5-on-5.
to go to the keg. Everybody walking off and off the thing. But nobody's keeping score. We're just standing there waiting for the ball to come to us.
Rangers are up 2-1, by the way. I don't know if you care.
I care. It was 1-1 at the end of one.
2-1. 5
Rangers,
minutes left.
baby.
Big loss the other night. Very disappointing.
Yeah, horrible.
Harry Beck,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shoot the puck, Barry.
Phil Esposito.
Ron
Mr.
Dugan,
Number 77.
Eddie Mio.
Number 1.
Greg's got 2 good picks. Heated steering. Greg is really like privileged. This is a real spoiled bastard. He needs his heated steering wheel and his sensitive shaving cream.
You know what it is? Sometimes what I do
while he's on the couch with the remote control.
Sometimes what I do before is I will drive in the car and put my chin on the steering wheel because it's heated to warm it up.
Open the port. Yeah, I like that.
Prepare the skin.
Nice.
And then you go, and then afterwards it's cold to stop the bleeding.
He's getting ready to shave.
Yes. To prepare the skin. Oh,
Think it's easy being Irish? They built us with a good liver, but the skin not so good.
Come on, Ernie. Number 3. I don't know how you beating sensitive shaving cream, but go.
Now we get to the real me, by the way. Number 3 is portable music. Walkmans, boom boxes. This is my teenage me. This is really, I needed to get through my teenage life with these things. It'll, the Walkman,
Of course.
the personal thing, but then I needed the boombox too. Greg can attest. When I was a teenager, I never went anywhere without carrying a boombox radio.
Well, that seems like the boombox is more your pick, because to me, Walkman defeats the purpose of Ernie. Ernie does not want to listen to music by himself. He needs other people to hear his music.
Yeah.
So the boombox is absolutely perfect. Like Radio Raheem, walking around town with the boombox like this, making sure everyone hears what he's playing.
When you opened up Ernie's trunk, when he got his car,
oh no,
he literally put his whole trunk were speakers.
Did you do? No, you did not do that.
He did. His whole trunk was speakers, and he would play classical music.
No,
on the neighborhood.
Is that true?
Joey's remember put these pile driver and then the Sherwood amp in the car. So every time I put it too loud, everything would explode in the car. The windows would like go off their things, everything would screw up.
I can't picture Ernie with the giant speakers in the trunk.
Track. His car would shake.
The tweeters go.
Yeah.
What was like your go-to song, Ern? Like when you had the speakers pumping?
Oh, he's talking about the March of the Valkyries, the helicopters in Apocalypse Now.
Oh my
God!
God!
You could hear him from 5 blocks away.
Well,
remember Tommy's father would always come out screaming at
him. Yes. Coming out with a gun. He was having flashbacks.
Especially with that Apocalypse Now music playing.
Yeah. And I would have to hide because I was the guy with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. I would have to run.
I would drive down the block with the trunk open. I would drive down.
Oh my God. I can't picture your father letting you have this, Ernie.
I did it without him knowing. He was very angry.
Oh, I would assume. Yeah. What car was this?
This was the Buick Regal.
Yes. Was this before I know you? Has to be, right? Because I don't remember this. Was it blue?
Right before.
Okay.
Right before, if anything.
because I tell the story all the time how Ernie really, when me and Ernie really started becoming good friends, we used to deliver the playground newsletters, which is actually a great lead into my next pick. The playground newsletters to mailboxes because we were too poor to put the stamps on. We would hand deliver them to the whole neighborhood, hundreds and hundreds of mailing list letters. And he would trap me for these hours. He would volunteer to drive me because I didn't even drive yet. And he would just play music for me for 3-4 hours straight. But I don't remember like the big speakers. That's why I'm asking.
I think that car got stolen from the Kings
Yes.
Plaza parking lot.
There's Tommy's
Because
father,
it had
maybe.
speakers.
With my 8-cube Benzie box.
Yeah.
Remember, right, but you have to pull
The Benzie box.
Oh my
That's
God.
another good invention.
Wow.
Imagine like only in New York you would have to invent something that like so it wouldn't get stolen.
Right. It's a portable radio, but then you have to take out of the car because otherwise they're going to break in and steal the radio.
Yeah.
Right, do you remember that I got obsessed with getting the boombox as small and tiny as possible? I used to have this long, thin one that I could hide in my sleeve. The boombox.
Come on.
Well,
after a while, it was just the face, right?
It was the boom. No, I'm talking about not the Benzie box, the actual back to the boombox.
Oh, yes.
Go into the park to drink. I used to have this long, thin one, and I would just slide it in my sleeve, and I would go to the park and pull it out of the boombox.
Jesus Christ. Oh, good one. Great pick. So this leads right into my next pick. So I was just saying how back in the day band promotion was everything when I was a kid, right? So how are you going to promote your band? How are you going to tell people you got a show? There was no such thing as the internet. You're not calling everyone, but mailing lists were like the biggest thing in the world. So you'd play a show. Again, for people who are listening, don't understand what this means. A band would play a show and you'd have a clipboard with lines on it, like much like Ernie's loose leaf paper over there. And you'd have someone walk around, usually a girl, and ask people to sign the playground mailing list. And people would literally sign up and give their address, or phone number to receive information about the band. And we would, it was a big thing to collect how big's your mailing list? Oh, we got 200 names on it. Oh, 200? We got 1,800. Whoa, you got 1,800 names on your mailing list? And the big thing was, can I get a copy of that? Whoa, copy of my mail? No, that's like taboo. You can't ask another band for a copy of their mailing list. It was like forbidden. So anyway, obviously, so that's a really archaic way of promoting and trying to get people to shows or buy your music, whatever it is. So even though Ernie eliminated, the internet, this is part of the internet. Social media is obviously one of the biggest things in the world. But for me, just as a person, an artist, a musician, Greg, you're an actor, everything we do without promoting on the internet, without promoting on social media specifically, I would be dead right now. I would have no outlet for all the things that I do. I would still be doing them. And I'd probably, be hiring Ernie to drive me around and post, posters on the wall like Motley Crue used to do. But with social media, you're just funneling it through this one system. And it's, just like the internet, it's so easy. It's opening up to the world. So, things like my book and things like CDs and things like music and, all these other things that I promote, I just post them on social media. And then obviously your following grows and your name gets around, one thing hits and the next thing hits. And you just constantly keep rolling that over because now your social media following is your mailing list. But it's obvious, it's, times a million.
Yeah.
So for me, social media. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's especially for independent, like true independence, right?
Yeah.
How is anyone going to know who we are and how do we get the word out? And it enabled us to do that in a way that no one before our generation could. It was like you had to sign with somebody or you were done.
Exactly. You needed you needed a record label or a movie studio or an agent to sign you, depending on what kind of artwork you're doing, and you would have to have that juggernaut behind you to get anything done. Otherwise, it was impossible. With social media and my last pick, Pro Tools, now everything is, you could do it from your home and you can make a living and promote all the things you love to do. Again, the last thing I ever want to do is work 9 to 5. So all the things that I do, I'm able to do because of social media.
Yep.
The problem with the 200 person playground list was that list was only supposed to be for the concerts. You weren't supposed to see them every weekend, all 200.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And we literally did. The same 200 we'd hang out every weekend. Hey, what are you guys doing? Come on, let's go to our show. All right, let's go. And we'd have everyone just following 30 cars, 40 cars.
School buses were a good choice back then, though.
Well, let me tell you something. If we do the playground reunion, we got to talk about, maybe we'll do a little episode and brainstorm on how we're going to do this. I do think stuff like that needs to be involved to do it right. We got to get some buses, school buses, wherever we're going to go, because no one lives in the neighborhood anymore. And we got to bus everyone in to have a good time, almost like the Uber buses.
Well, why don't we get a plane?
I like it. I don't see why not. Where we're going to do the show? Hawaii?
Sounds good.
I'm in. I don't think we should bring Tommy to Hawaii. Something tells me bad things would happen.
Yeah. I think that's
All right. Back to you, Greg. Number 2. We're moving.
well, number 2 is GPS, so I'm gonna swap it out. So I don't know. I guess, can I go with email? Or is that
Nah, you can do it. Sure, why not? It's a replacement anyway.
Yeah. I mean, email is just an incredible tool. You want to talk about your mailing list. Really, the crossover is the email.
Yeah.
Just set it up and hit one button and send it out to hundreds of thousands of people if you needed to.
It's insane.
Stamps. You didn't have to go to the post office anymore. How do you fill out? You remember they used to have to teach us in school how to fill out the
Of course. How to write the letter. Yeah, of course.
Then you got to weigh it, because if it was too much, they send it back to you.
Do you remember that actually being taught in school, how to fill out an envelope? Yeah.
That was like a whole thing. You took a test on it.
I bet you, I'm going to do that to my kids tomorrow. I guarantee neither one of them know how to put an envelope in a mailbox, fill it out and put it in a mailbox. No way. Yeah. I bet you they don't even know what a mailbox is.
Nope. They don't even know how that mailbox ended up in Tommy Snyder's front lawn.
No, email. I mean, email is an obvious pick. It has to be there. It's that's all even though we're kind of cheating, Greg, the internet is insane. It's, it made the giant world we live in very tiny.
Yes.
And it's incredible for people like us.
I used to have a trick for the envelopes.
I was going to say this trick.
You know what I'm talking about? How to send mail without a stamp?
You'd self-address it to the return address would be where you want to send it to?
Yeah.
You sneaky bastard. I think I've done that once or twice. So you got to explain, Greg or Ernie, explain that for people who are listening who don't know what idiots, connivers and schemers like us did as kids.
Well, you had to put a stamp on it, which cost back then 10 cents, 15 cents. But that is how the government got paid for the mail to go. If you don't get no stamp, it would be sent back to you. But you had to put your address in the top left corner, because where else are they going to send it? They gotta have your return address in case it doesn't go through. We used to put the return address where the regular address is supposed to be, and vice versa. So they think they're sending it back to you, but they're really sending it to where you want it to go.
So what you do is you wouldn't buy the stamp, because obviously we needed beer money, whatever we needed. So you would be too cheap to buy the stamp. So you drop it in a mailbox, no postage. But the return address, so they go, oh, this guy forgot to put postage on it. We got to return it to his return address. And then they would bring it to that address. Now, the little bit of a loophole, in your neighborhood, it worked. Yes. But if you try to put a return address, that scam, in a mailbox in Brooklyn, Marine Park, and try to send it to California, it wouldn't work because they would understand. Obviously, the return address is not California if this is in a Brooklyn mailbox, right?
Yeah, and it would get the people at the post office really mad, and you don't want to get the people at the post office really mad
Exactly right.
because they have your address.
Yeah, great one.
Problem was not just saving the 10 cents, but you could only get the stamp at the post office, which was
Agreed.
a mile
Right.
away.
No, but I remember when I was a kid, like delis and stuff, I would get stamps at delis and
Yeah, they
they would
upcharge
have,
you.
yeah, they would upcharge me. You're right.
Yeah.
Remember when we were little, how bad of a reputation the people at the postal office and the DMV had when we were younger?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll go in there. They're crazy.
Yeah,
We even
the
had
whole
a question
going
go
postal, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
going postal.
Going postal, right?
We used.
Yeah, yeah.
Because back
And
in those were the people that used to shoot people and shoot up the workplace were like post office people, right?
yes. Also, I wonder, do kids today understand the song Return to Sender?
They don't. No chance they understand what that is. Oh, wait a second. Oh my God, I just got scared. Rangers final. I just saw the Canadians Bruins final. It was 4-2. I thought they came back. I said, "Oh my God." 2-1 Rangers.
Joe, don't tell me no more about the game. I want to record it. Watch later.
I actually did, but I actually can't record them anymore. They freaking Comcast took MSG away from me. I got to watch everything on the app now. All right. Come on, Aaron. Number 2.
Number 2, VCR.
Oh, yes.
We, my family, was the second family on the block to even have one of these.
What year? You remember the year?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess this was say 1982. I'm guessing somewhere around then. The Angelinas were the first family on the block to have it, but
I was going to ask who had it. I don't remember.
yeah,
Top
had it for
loader?
1984 for the movie 1984.
John Angelina's was the first one. You know, and particularly when the neighbor across the street got one, and then we would rent movies. She would bring Sandy would bring her video machine to me. We would plug them together, and we just play one while record the other. And I had a bootleg ring in my living room.
That's, I mean,
all these movies. Yeah,
that's big. I had a VCR pretty early on too, but there was always the mythical figure in the neighborhood that had 2 of them that could do this. And if you could get that guy to dub some stuff for you, especially me, like with concert footage and, when, video stores start opening up and you'd be able to rent one and dub it. Oh my God. It was like life-changing.
I mean, I shouldn't talk too much. I don't know what the statute of limitations for that FBI getting into video.
Because people don't understand a video cassette back then. You could like $89 for the new Rambo movie.
Oh yeah.
You're like, what? What the fuck are you talking? $89 now is too much for a movie. $89 for like the new release, right? Am I crazy?
No, that's what it was. Yeah.
When we first started renting, you had to give a deposit of $100 deposit on the movie that they give back to you when you return it.
What? It's insane.
Yeah. And then they would hold that deposit, like, because that was part of your like membership.
Right. You had to put it down as part of your membership. So every movie you took, they had that just in case, right?
And if you took more than 2 movies at a time, the deposit was $200.
What if you didn't bring 2 of them out? Right, of course. No, but VCRs were obviously incredible, not only for the dubbing purposes, but for me too. Like my hours were always weird, just being always playing musician stuff. Being able to record things that were on TV was so important to me. I mean, even the cassette tape, being able to record things on the radio back in the day was massive to me because I couldn't afford to buy every record that I wanted. So I would sit in front of the radio and go,
yeah, it's crazy.
There it is.
And you kind of knew that playlist, right?
Right.
So you're like, oh, it's coming on. It's
2 more songs. I think they're going to do it. And your mother would call you for something. You go, yeah, I missed the beginning. Fuck. And you press record and you're like 4 seconds late and you would never have the beginning of the song.
No, and then Ernie, what was the radio station in Kingsborough or
Kingsborough, B91, 90.9.
B91 would not follow anything, but they would play like dance music, and you would try to record that. I remember staying with Michael Leone, like we were sitting there listening to for hours, and they would never repeat the song we wanted.
Oh my God.
B91.
Yeah, kids don't understand what it is like to have things on demand now. Isn't that insane?
You know what I think when I think of B91? The shout outs.
Yes. That's true. Yeah.
You guys listen to SOU when you were growing up? Seton Hall, WSOU?
89.5?
Of course.
No, I never heard of it.
That was like the local, because I was obviously a rock kid. So that was the big local rock station we used to live on, WSOU. And my brother's friend, you know Tony Bones? You know Tony Anthony Lombardi? You guys know him?
No.
From the neighborhood too. He was one of the disc jockeys. And what a great station. Only station that would play like the real metal stuff, right, Ern?
Yeah. They're still around.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I still have it in my program. Then I get it out here in Jersey because it's Seton Hall. So it's literally one of my playlists on my one of my programs in my car. All right, my number 2. So Ernie said it already. GPS. Now I would never be able to live without this. Number 1, I didn't start driving till really. I didn't get my license till in like mid-20s, but I didn't really start driving regularly. God, probably almost till I was almost 30. Just because I lived in Brooklyn when I was really young, and by the time I moved out of Brooklyn, it was right around the time that I was going to get a license. I moved to Manhattan. Almost useless to have a license in Manhattan. I never even bothered. It was never even a thought in my mind to get a driver's license. For what? And it could never have a car. It was like almost teasing me. I have a driver's license, but there's no way you could ever have a car. So I never got a driver's license. So just driving in general was always, once I did start driving, it was like tricky to me. Never mind following directions. I told you the whole story about how, we on tour, we did the maps and stuff, but me as a personal driver without GPS, I don't even know if I would drive today. I think I would. I don't even know if I would be driving. I might be home, like walking around, riding my bike, because I don't think driving and trying to find. I mean, because a few times I drove before GPS was really like built into your cars and obviously your cell phones and all that stuff. I would drive to a couple shows by myself, and I remember this one time I was going to this place called Dingbats in New Jersey, and I was still living in Brooklyn. And I have no idea anywhere in Jersey. Nothing about Jersey. I know my little radius and where I live. And I'm driving, and it's a massive rainstorm. It's one of the first times I ever drove by myself. And Ernie, you know Musk. I got Musk on the phone, who Musk will be on future
Elon?
episodes.
You guys know Elon?
No, Elon. This is definitely not Elon Musk. This is an idiot Musk. This is not smart Musk. This is idiot Musk. So he's from Jersey, so I have him on the phone and I'm screaming at him. I don't know where I am. I'm reading him the exits and he's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I don't know where I am. You live in Jersey. I'm at blah, blah, blah." I'm reading him the town and he's like, "But what highway are you on?" I'm like, I'm screaming at him. How the fuck would I know what highway I'm on? I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at. All I know is the big green signs. I don't know like the highway signs and what I'm looking at. So GPS literally changed my life. I think I would be a hermit without GPS.
You need a Chloe.
That bitch. Did you heard last week's episode?
I did, yeah.
You watched 24, Greg?
I did, yeah.
What's your thoughts on Chloe?
I mean, I didn't get all the way through the seasons.
I didn't either because of her.
Yeah, it was Chloe. Chloe just turned me off completely. No. I was shocked actually that she had a big enough storyline eventually, right? Because she was just the
Well, that's what got me out of it. She was a very minute part of the show, so I could tolerate the Jack. Oh, I know there's a nuclear weapon going off, Jack, but I'm doing my nails. It's like I could take it one scene an episode, but she became a big part of the show. And that's when I was like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah,
Can't
there's
do it
certain
anymore.
shows that happens like 24 season one. I will put up against anything because it's the first time you saw it. It was like can't miss television for me.
Agree.
It was amazing. And then season two was like, okay. And then by the time season three came around, I was like, I kind of know where it's going. Like, there's not, it's the same thing over and over
It
again.
was a
But that
little too
first
much of the
season,
same formula, right?
yeah, that first season was, oh
Did
my
you
God.
watch that on TV when it was out, or like binged it after?
No, no, on TV each
Oh
week.
wow! So
Yeah,
you had to wait a week.
I had to wait a
What
week.
was
Yeah,
that like?
it sucks. I'm doing it now with Ted Lasso. Do you guys watch Ted
I
Lasso?
watched the first season. I loved it. I don't have Apple TV, so I did like a bootleg stream of it, but I loved what I watched.
Yeah. Now I'm on like week to week with Ted Lasso, and I'm not this season. I'm not into it because I'm waiting like week to
Yeah.
week. I mean, like it's pulling away from me.
What is it up to? 3 or 4?
Three last
Yeah.
season. Yeah. So yeah, so I think waiting a week hurts it. I really do. I know you
Oh,
said
I
that there's
yeah.
certain shows that stream it has to be streamed and continuous. You have to watch it that way.
Yep.
You can't watch it week to week, especially if it leaves you on a cliffhanger, right?
Yeah,
Because
just because there's so many things happening in between those two episodes. If you ever watch an episode on a Monday and you got to wait till next Monday to figure out that cliffhanger, for me especially, 17 million things happen in between those two Mondays. I don't even know where the fuck I was last Monday by the time the next Monday comes. So to
100%.
try to remember, what was going on in that episode of that show, it takes me out of that being immersed in that storyline.
Yeah, 100%.
Pre-
I don't know if I could have watched Breaking Bad that way.
Yeah,
I
me too.
watched it after it ran and watched the whole thing in like a week. I couldn't get away from it. But I
What are you
think
gonna
if
say,
I
Aaron?
could wait week to week,
Yeah.
Previously on 24.
Well, listen, that without that stuff, I would never be able to watch anything week to week because my short-term memory, because I have so many things going on in my brain, I'm one of those people, especially like when I learn music, I have so much music in my brain. I literally have to take files out of my brain to put new files in. So as I learn new songs, I see the other stuff falling into the sea. So that's what happens. So I forget things very quickly. But uh, on the same topic, Grant, I forgot to mention this last week. A great suggestion for a new show, Daisy and the Six. Have you guys seen this yet?
no.
Amazon Prime. It's about a band. It's very loosely based on like Fleetwood Mac's story,
Mm.
but it's absolutely incredible. It's all original music, fictitious band, but it's loosely based on like what happened with Fleetwood Mac. Incredible. It's got, I think it's 8 episodes of the first season so far.
I was
Binge
gonna
it.
say 8 seasons. Holy
No,
shit.
God, no. I wish it was. 8 episodes so far. Great.
Yeah.
Try it.
Well, then I'm going to recommend a show too that I didn't say last week.
What do you got?
Have you ever heard of Dirk Gently?
No.
Dirk Gently?
Is this is this one of those shows on your
Yes.
special channels, Ernie?
No, this is the real deal. You should go investigate this thing.
Are you going all spice on us?
No,
Is this Cinemax late at night, Ernie?
the full name is Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, but the
Stop.
title
And who is Dirk?
Say that one more time for me, Ernie. That whole title.
Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
Very good.
You're gonna have to trust me on this one.
What network is it on? What stream is it? Streaming network? What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ! How do you watch this show, Ernie?
Put it on the remote. I press it. I have everything. I don't know what I'm watching anything on at any time.
God Almighty! What
You search this out, you'll be happy.
Give us a quick run. What is it about?
Nope.
He dirks gently.
It's more fun to go. It's more fun to go in blind. Yeah. It's an adventure fantasy thing.
Well, apparently, if you watch enough of it, you will go blind.
That's what his mom always told him. All right,
you will be happy.
Dirk.
And then you're going to need that special shaving cream for your palms.
And the heated steering wheel because they'll be so tender.
Yeah.
All right, perfect segue into our number ones.
Oh,
Greg?
and if you knew what my number one was, you would know it was a perfect segue.
Oh, Jesus. Let's recap. Number 5. Everyone needs it in their life. The heated steering wheel.
Yes.
Number 4, of course, the remote control. 3, for the sensitive man, sensitive shaving cream. Yes, you've heard it here first.
Yes.
Number 2, email, of course. And Greg's number 1, invention since his, well, in his lifetime, I guess. I was going to say since you were born, but in your lifetime. What do you got?
I'm going with the digital thermometer. My ass has never felt so good.
Really? This is, I mean,
I'm joking.
I was gonna, this is, I mean,
A digital
Ernie, I was gonna say,
thermometer.
I'm not sure we could have this guy, him back. This is like real privilege. This is, you should not be talking to us anymore. I know the block you come from. So this can't be true.
Just on a side note, both of you had your children later. The fact that you could just put something to their forehead and get it in like within 3 seconds is amazing.
Did you just have to put it in?
I have to, yes.
Oh,
I mean, my mother did it to me till I was 21. And there was mercury in there. There was some danger.
Stop it. Please explain to the listeners. Did what to you 21, Greg?
Took my temperature rectally because it was the better number. It was the most accurate. Then it was under the tongue, and then it was under the arm. And if you were lucky, they didn't screw up the thermometers, and you didn't have to put the rectal one under your tongue.
Couple of quick questions. I got to inquire. Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping you didn't. The right order always happened, but just out of curiosity, let's not even call you 21 yet. You're now 17. You're 18, right? You're sick. Even if you say to yourself, "Yep, this is the best way. I got to make sure what my temperature is. I got to go in, the special way."
Go in.
Why can't you do it? Why does mom have to do it?
Well, my shoulders were bad from playing. My shoulders were bad from playing football, and my mom was a corrections officer, so she was used to bend over and spread them.
Joey, maybe you're Gumby or something, but
you can't reach your own butt. How do you wipe?
That's not the same thing.
Of course it is.
Hold on a second.
Exactly. Good God Almighty. What is this your real number one?
No,
what do you got?
No.
Come on.
It's a bonding experience.
I need the thermometer. Bring the big one.
Oh, Mom, what is that? I'm feeling a little pressure on the roof of my mouth. That a mic stand? What the hell are you doing?
Jesus Christ. I know the preview clip we're going to use for this episode now.
I'm going to go a little bit technical. It changed my life. It's my career, one of my careers. The MRI machine.
Yeah.
I work with them, I own them and work with them. And it changed in our lifetime the face of medicine and how we're treated and how we're diagnosed. And it's truly like batshit crazy when you really understand how it works. And on a side note, it was developed by 3 guys in Downstate Hospital in Brooklyn is where it was invented.
Really?
Yeah.
What year?
It was the late 70s, early 80s. It was very rudimentary. And then the bigger companies picked up on it and then started using Japan had Toshiba, we had GE, Germany had Siemens, and they started putting their top people on it to really develop it. And I think we saw the first MRI machines in the late 80s. They started to use for patients.
Right.
But interesting fact too on that is the 3 guys sued all the major manufacturers, and they ended up with Toshiba had to pay them $200 million. GE paid them almost $1 billion. Siemens paid them almost $1 billion. Phillips paid them 500 million.
What did they trademark of it? What was the actual thing that the process? What is it? Magnetic imaging? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
yeah. So they were
So
using radio frequencies to interact with a proton. So now the proton is positive, right? And it's spinning inside. The electron's outside the cell, and then inside the cell you have the neutron and the proton. But the protons are doing little spins, and because they're spinning and they're positive, there's little magnetic fields. So it's why Chinese medicine uses magnets for healing,
yeah.
because it's going to interact with the cell. So then they send a radio frequency in that knocks the proton down, and then as it comes back to normal, it releases an energy, and this coil or camera that's over your body part picks up that change, and then it goes into the computers. uh it's at a point now where the computers are more important than the actual technology of knocking down the protons and doing all that. It's just speed and the amount of data that you could put together so quickly. When I started in 94, a lumbar spine, like your lower back MRI, took 2 hours.
Wow.
Today I do it in 10 minutes, just because we're able to gather all that information and data sets and put it together quicker. But they developed the radio frequency hitting it. So
Wow.
there's three guys. They were not, one of the guys was not liked at all. And they gave the Nobel like Peace Prize or for medicine to the two other guys and didn't include the third guy.
But was the other guy included in all the paydays and stuff?
Yeah, he got all the
Okay.
money. And then what he did was he said, screw you. I'm going to start a new company with a magnet and I'm going to call it Stand Up MRI.
Well, that's perfect segue because I've had many MRIs in my life. I've had millions of injuries, and I cannot take a regular MRI. I've tried it, tried the machine. I have massive claustrophobia. The thing next into my face like this, I last about the first one I ever went in, they literally gave me a Valium to get into the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Got in the machine, the thing's making, it sounds like a freaking tractor trailer, hitting against the wall. Doc, 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 doc. It's like Ernie's stomach when he eats dairy. And I feel I'm in there, feels like an eternity. So they're like, okay, sir, you've been in for about 15 minutes, but unfortunately, we got to start all over because you were moving. I said, get me out! Get me out! And ever since then, I've tried one every once in a while, and I can't do it. I got to go into the stand-up MRIs.
Yeah.
I can't do anything else. The best one I've ever tried when I tore my ACL on the set of Z-Rock, I literally, and I don't even know, again, I don't even know how they work exactly. I literally sat in a chair. I guess the machines were on either side of me, and I had episodes of Friends playing in front of me. I'm watching the screen like this. I was like on a lounge chair.
Yeah, that's
And
the stand up. Yeah.
Yep.
They have open machines that the other vendors make, but the stand up machine that the Made-In invented was the one that you sit down, they slightly recline you back, and they have the TV for you to watch TV.
I had an open one maybe 6 months ago. I have a torn labrum in my shoulder right now. And the open one sucked too. Yeah, it's open. One side is open. This side's open. This side, you're in a coffin. Oh, that's not good. I'm not happy. I still feel terrible. I know I could see great. I could see an open air over there, but this thing is still in my face. I'm like this still.
It's actually so when they do the open ones, they usually put it on 3 pillars, right? But the closer or the stronger the magnet, the better the pictures, right?
Right.
The better resolution. So what they did was on a normal machine, you would have like this much space, right?
Right.
And then with the open, because they're losing the magnetic field because it's open, they actually bring it closer.
Motherfucker! You know what? I mean, listen.
But what you could do is when you're doing your shoulder, you just look the other way.
Well, that's what. I mean, I almost had to do it. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a slightly larger than average nose. And whoa, and I was laying. My nose was literally up against the machine. I'm like, I had to face the open area. I was like this. I made it through, but it was not fun.
Yeah. And again, with those, I don't have open machines, I have closed machines, but The open machine for orthopedic, shoulder, knee, it's fine. If they're looking for small brain tumors in your brain or in your liver or something, I always say if it's orthopedic and you have to be in pain for an extra 2 months, you're in pain for it. But if you miss something else, it's
sure.
bad news.
Now, can they knock you out? Can you literally be knocked out completely?
They do it, but they don't. They prefer not to.
I mean, for me, if you're gonna, if just for you guys for future, if you ever hear that I got to go in for a brain tumor or something like that, I want to be like BA from the 18. Just fucking walk me in there. Ernie, come back when dink, hit me with the needle, knock me out, throw me in the machine, and then wake me up later. I want no part of that. Nothing.
You want like Mr. Spock?
Yes.
Yes.
He's dead, Jim.
Joe, I gotta ask a question. You rib Greg with the whole shaving cream, sensitive shaving cream privilege, but when he says he owns an MRI machine,
what?
nothing.
Well, I know that's what he does for a living. I mean, it's incredible. It's great.
He said the word own.
Do you
know anybody that owns?
But when he says own, like, are we talking like, is it in your living room, or what are we talking here? Do you do home MRI visits?
No, but it's my machine. I own it. I own 3 of them.
All right, I know this might be a personal question, and we can edit it out. Your rough ballpark, Ernie. No, you know what, Greg? You don't give me your ballpark, Ernie. Give me your rough ballpark. What does an MRI machine go for?
Oh, it's got to be at least $40.
I don't even know where I would begin. Am I going to go? Do I start with like 40 grand?
You're asking me you want to go hot or cold on this?
Am I still cold?
You're ice cold.
Whoa. 400 grand?
Ice cold.
Ernie?
Infinity.
He's closer.
He's closer.
Come on. Come on, tell us.
The last one we got was 1.8.
What the fuck? Ernie.
$1.80?
I'll take 3. What the hell am I spending $4 grand every time I got to do one then for? If they're only $1.80 each.
Yeah. That's why they cost so much to get them done.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So and I'm just going to say I'm a partner. I don't own it,
So when you get them, obviously for the business, when you buy the new ones, are they really upgrading, or you want more for more business?
When we buy the new one?
Yeah.
You just want the fastest one out there.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. You can do patience. My one in Park Slope, we bought in 2016. We bought the original in 2006. We had it for 10 years, and then we did a full forklift upgrade. Like we pulled it all out and put all new in, and went up to the 3 Tesla, which is the highest strength that you could get now for private outpatient centers.
I've heard of the 3 Tesla. I've heard good things.
So, that
but now, what do you do now? The old ones? Are we talking like? Is it like Kramer from Seinfeld, where he goes in the garbage for the Merv Griffin set? What do you do with the old MRI? Like, are you selling it to some weirdo that's just fucking taking pictures of his neighbors? What are you doing with the old MRIs?
Well, you got two options, right? You could sell it to like the Caribbean or to
meaning like a cheaper medical facility.
Yeah, like third world countries looking for them type stuff.
Right.
Or usually the vendor you're buying them from will give you real close to the price you would get for selling yourself, less, but no headache of having to pull it out and move it.
Right. Because he would just get parts out of it and stuff.
Yeah, they'll sell it or they'll put it in their parts department, and
Ernie, if you had to give me a percent chance right now, both of you, what's the percent chance that Babbles has one of these in the basement?
They do there's a company out of Italy that makes just a foot, knee, and ankle one.
Wow.
That looks like a dishwasher. And you literally just sit in the chair in front of it and put your leg in this dishwasher, basically.
Wow. Now, like an X-ray, listen. Obviously, when you take an X-ray and you wear the vest and you do all this protection and you can't have people in the room, what's the ramifications of an MRI? Well, obviously, if you're telling me you're shooting the protons and the neutrons, you're shooting these things, can't be good, right?
Well, here's the thing, and that's why MRI is the greatest medical invention in the last 50 years. No radiation. So when I hit you with radiation and I do a chest X-ray, the X-ray photon goes in and it interacts with the electron, which is outside the cell, and it's moving. And it excites it, almost like Ernie would get excited on a Friday night.
Like with Dirk Gently.
Yes, with Dirk Gently. So then what happens is when you excite the electron, it either leaves and goes, like, shoots to another cell, or it attracts another electron from another cell. So we're changing your genetic makeup with every X-ray you have.
What?
When you leave an MRI machine and the protons bounce back, you're completely the same person you were before you came in. There's no danger it's been around 40 something years. No danger from it at all.
There's no chance of being two people like with Captain Kirk.
Nope. Thank God for the aliens. Imagine two Kirks out there picking up all the aliens.
Imagine two Ernies. Ernie goes into Greg's MRI machine. He comes out, two of them, or like the Fly.
Yeah, exactly.
He comes out.
Wait a second.
He gets mixed with something else.
Wait, can we do a poll? I want to do a poll for all your people. If Ernie was changed into an insect, what insect would he be changed into?
Let's even do a better question. If you could put Ernie in the two pods from the Fly, Ernie's in the left pod. What do you put in the right pod to merge with Ernie?
Yeah.
He was Brundlefly at the end of that. What would you turn Ernie into? Half of what?
I would put you in there.
Oh.
We would come out looking exactly like you, with just long hair.
You start a band called Journey. Journey.
I don't know how we never thought of that before. That could have been the name of our show, Journey. Oh my God!
Can I get an MRI just for fun?
Sure.
We did that with the breathalyzer.
$4,000.
Oh, Greg, do you know the breathalyzer story?
No.
We got a breathalyzer. We got a hold of one, and we brought it to the Hamptons, and we kept passing it around. The game was who could make it go to highest.
Wow, that's a great game.
But no driving. I was totally safe. It was in the house. We weren't leaving, but we would just see who could get it to go to highest.
Now, were you changing out the plastic peach each time, or are you just passing it?
No, we used our mouths, not like the thermometer.
Yeah, went in the mouth, Greg, not the other way. What's wrong? What the hell is wrong with you?
The plastic piece comes out, or so I'm told, and then you put another plastic piece on.
Is this for sanitary purposes or to get a better reading?
No, sanitary purposes.
Oh, you in the Hamptons? Sanitary purposes? Are you crazy?
And is it true it was or was not connected?
Our windows had garbage bags on them.
Yeah.
We used to clean out the funnel.
Underwater funnel.
We used to clean out the funnel with the pool water. The pool water was sitting there all summer.
The funnel would be out all week, like collecting, bugs and everything. We tell, like, this is disgusting. We dip it in the pool. We go like this. Okay, ready to go.
Chlorine, it whitens your teeth.
Yeah, of course. It's cleans it out. It's like Clorox. Bleach. All right. This good. I don't know how the hell the MRI turned into such a good pick and good story. Nicely done. All right, Ernie. Up to you. Number 1, let's recap. Number 5, the GPS. Number 4, the microwave. Number 3, portable music. Number 2, the VCR. And your number 1 favorite invention in your lifetime.
Got to be the record button.
On anything or?
Yes, on the cassette player, for the mixtapes, or for the compact discs, the mixed CDs.
Oh my God! Yes.
I mean,
that's Ernie's life.
I thought I was the mixtape leader of the neighborhood. I would make a new mix and have to make 20 copies but everybody I would push them on. I thought I was somebody important with these things.
I mean, I hate this. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I don't even know if I ever told you this. You kind of were. You were kind of big deal. Your tapes were important. Like, you introduced me to a lot of music. Your Fun Tape 1 and 2, these things are legendary. I mean, there's
I am.
They
people
were
have
the
come.
iPods before iPods.
Yeah, you
He
were the
crossed
first.
over music, right?
You're right. You would like the first shuffle button on an iPod, on a crazy big iPod.
Yeah.
You're making me blush.
They make shaving cream for that.
I was just gonna say, damn it, you beat me to it.
Now go take a shower. And when
Great,
you come
Ernie.
out, I'll take your temperature.
That's one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard. Until I was 21. What? Oh, good. How old are your kids right now?
19. No, I'm sorry. 18, 23, 25, and 27.
So the 19-year-old and even the 23-year-old, picture you right now giving them a rectal thermometer.
Nope.
Well, you know the parts I play on TV, Joe.
It's a good point. I forgot who we're talking about here. Dr. Pedophile. MD.
MD. Master. Anyway. So why do you think they made it red, the record button?
Huh.
Good question.
Just because it would stick out, or?
Well, I remember,
universal.
correct me if I'm wrong, most of the early ones, you had to press the red and the play at the same time, right, to record? It wasn't just record.
Well, play was the only thing that got it to go forward at the right speed. So you had to press both buttons. Sometimes the record button was like inside the play button.
Inside it, right? And you could press both at the same time, right? I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah.
I wish they would have made it easier, because then someone wouldn't have taped over Ernie's commercial edition.
Oh, God. Oh. I still think, with the help of one of our picks, the internet, someone is going to find that tape and send it to us. It's going to pop up sooner or later. I just know it is. Anyone out there? Ernie, do you remember the company you did it with by any chance?
Barbizon, something like that.
Oh, they did do that.
Did they?
Yes, it could be I think it is. Like, I don't know if they would hold data like that. That's the only thing.
But no, I'm not talking about. Of course, they wouldn't hold data. But someone from that office saw this tape, and it's in their prized possession. Right? It's like, this is the tape of all tape. This is our best interview screen test of all time. They kept this thing. Trust me. If anyone from that company saw this, Ernie was hanging in the office. A picture of him in the office. Trust me. Please, anyone from Barbizon, which completely sounds like a fake name, but anyone from Barbizon out there, please look into Ernest screen test. Email us at top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. If you need Ernie's real contact information, I will give it to you to look this information up.
Yeah, and then also I just want to say, for law reasons, we will have a waiver from Ernie releasing you of any legal ramifications for having a tape of him for 20 years.
Ernie gave away all his rights as soon as we did the first episode. I made him sign a 100-page contract.
I went to Billy's house and I said, listen, I need to borrow $60. He goes, no effing way. Then I go, I needed to go make a commercial screen test. He goes, hold on.
Best 60 I ever spent. All right, my number one. So I got a lot of repeats on my list. So let's recap. Number 5, caller ID, saved my life. Number 4, Pro Tools, editing. Number 3, social media. Number 2, GPS. And my number 1, Ernie kind of mentioned it already, the Walkman. I wouldn't be the person I am today without a Walkman portable music. Even to today, I mean, all day long, all I do is have these in, and I'm listening to music all day long. Whether it's me having to learn music, listening to new music, when I was a kid, absorbing everything about the world of music. That's all I did was have my Walkman in. Everywhere I went, school, work, on the train, on the bus, traveling, laying in my room, bed, anything I did, walking around the neighborhood, I had a Walkman on with the cassette. And then later the Discman, I would, have my disc. A disc was great because it was longer. And disc, you could carry more of them. I'd have my little disc holder and carry, 10, 12 discs in my little, compact disc holder. Changed my life. The Walkman was, if I could pick one thing growing up that no way I could live without, it was my Walkman.
Nice. Very good.
All right, super quick. I know we're running a little long. Super quick. Let's do one honorable mention each.
Oh, I got so many. I'm going to start. I'm going to go with the beeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those that don't know, they're young. Beeper was this little device that you wore on your hip or in your pocket, and somebody that wanted to talk to you, because cell phones didn't exist at the time, they would call this number and they would beep you, and this thing would go off and it would tell you what number to call back. And it was, it didn't have a long history because cell phones came out and wiped it away and it was no longer necessary. But the beeper was good for the drug trade, good for mothers wondering where their children were, and good for sending secret messages upside down, to your crushes. Do you remember those? The beeper
No.
codes? You don't remember the beeper codes? Ernie does, right?
Yeah, I never had a beeper or a pager, believe it or not.
Really?
Give me an example of a beeper code.
Like someone would page you with their number and then 143.
What would that mean?
I love you.
Really?
And
these were known things?
Known, yeah. And then you could do like 43770, and when you turned it upside down, it would say hello.
Oh, well, yeah. I did that with the calculator.
Yeah. Well,
I had a beeper for like 2 days and I threw it right in the garbage. It was the opposite of what I wanted. A cell phone's different. Cell phone text, they call me, they text me. I get back to them whenever I want. The beeper, you don't answer that beeper within the first 10 minutes. The beeper just goes off again, and it goes off again. And you finally call them and they scream at you, I've been beeping you for the last hour. Why didn't you call me?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, whoop, gone. The opposite of what I wanted.
Yeah.
Good one. Ern, what do you got? Honorable mention.
I wasn't prepared for this, but
oh yes, you were.
Okay, I got one. I mean, as a teenager, I was not doing very well when it came to the ladies. So, and it was because of my looks and my personality mostly.
And Billy would steal all the girls.
Yes. But looks and personality were my issues. But then
Did it have anything to do with a thermometer?
Yeah. So something came out that put us all on an even playing field. It was called a party line.
Oh my God. I remember party lines. Oh my God.
Nobody knew what you looked like or anything.
It was like the original voice.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Please, Ernie, explain to the listeners what party line was.
Okay, listeners. The party line was a telephone number where everybody would call and you can hear everybody. Everybody be talking. You're calling in to like a room. Like chat rooms replaced it eventually. God, they probably don't even know what a chat room is. We're so old.
You're right. But party room was the first thing of that. It was the first social interaction in groups, I think, of strangers, right?
Yep.
Because you would, like you said, you'd literally, and it usually was, late night TV. There'd be, girls, on the TV, and they would be promoting this phone number, call 1-800, blah, 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 blah. And it's, chat with these girls and chat with this person, and chat with that person. And you'd call, and at the end of the commercial, be $2.99 for every 5 seconds. you'd get a bill at the end of the month, and it'd be $7 million because Ernie was in the party room for 20 minutes.
Well, you used the Columbia House.
Yes. Or you could try that way.
Yeah.
Party. Oh my God. I don't think I ever actually called one, but I remember seeing them and hearing about them. And oh my God. Greg, were you ever in the party rooms?
I called one and I was so embarrassed and self-conscious. Like it was, I couldn't do it. It wasn't my thing at all. I was like really self-conscious,
That
couldn't
was
do
a
it.
great pick, Ernie. Wow. Mine's definitely not as good. Mine's a little boring. A little something called Photoshop. So this
Love
again, it goes back to everything that I do as far as promotion and this and that. Photoshop, you literally can make posters and make ads and make, you know, CD covers or whatever the hell you want to do promotion wise. It's just a tool, it's constantly giving. You could do anything you want on it. And, for promotion. And I literally designed my whole book in Photoshop. I designed everything about it, the layout, the cover. It's just something I use every day. And, I don't know if I'd be able to live without it now that I use it.
That's a great tool. I use because I normally just do photography.
Yeah.
So I use Lightroom Classic, which is like a
Same type of thing. Right.
same,
Photo editing. Right.
It's a little bit less than Photoshop is the top end mega.
And was Photoshop the first of its kind too, like with the layering? Is that the first?
I didn't get into photography till recently. In Lightroom you don't layer. That's one of the differences, and it's one of the things I'm like afraid to get into in Photoshop is the layering of it.
Oh my God, yeah.
It seems like so complicated, but people that do it, like my son, that they don't do anything. It's everything.
Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy. The layering makes it even easier because it's all separate. If you think of it as 3D, and anyone you don't want, you just remove.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Good one, boys.
Greg is good for pictures of birds and MRIs.
That's it.
Inside the body and birds.
And birds.
Have you ever had
why? When you got the thermometer in, you go, "Oh, bird!"
Have you ever had to MRI someone because they thought there was a thermometer up there?
Not a thermometer, but I've X-ray patients with other things caught up there.
All right, we were about to end the episode. Give us the story.
So it was Roosevelt Hospital. I want to say 1999. I go to X-ray this patient, and he's in a tremendous amount of discomfort, and they want an abdomen X-ray. So I just go in. I go, "How you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good." I take the picture, and it's 99, so it's not digital. It's actual film. You put it into a processor. It comes out, developer, fixer, washer, dryer, and out. It's like 3 minutes or probably 90-second sequence. And it comes out, and I lift up this X-ray, and I go, "What the hell?" I go, "Is that?" And I'm with someone, and they're like, "Is he wearing a gown? Like does that something? Is there something in his pocket?" It's like I go, "No, he's in a gown and his underwear." That's like, and he's like, "No, is it on the table? Like, what's that on? What is it?" Because it was a very large piece, but it was shaped phallically, but not putting it together. And as we're looking at it, trying to figure it out, we have it on the view box, and the surgeon comes up before us and go, "Oh yeah, that's a vibrator."
Oh man.
So now I got to go in and talk to the guy, right? Because I have to. So now I go in, I go, "How's it going?" He's like, "Good, good." I go, you feel all right?" He's like, "I feel better. We almost had it out at home. My boyfriend had it in his hands, but it slipped out. It was very painful because it vibrated for about 4 hours. But since it stopped vibrating,
no,
it's not as painful." Then he went up to surgery.
Oh, well, good way to end the episode. I don't see any better way to end than that. I love that the battery eventually died and the guy felt better.
Yeah. There's another one too with a light bulb, which I don't know how that happened.
Oh, that's I can't even imagine. Oh,
Yes.
Ernie,
And it went
hold on.
in.
Let's tie it all together. See if you can reach.
Yes. And it went in that way. You would think it would go in the other way. It went in the round part first.
And didn't pop?
No,
How?
It's glass.
it didn't pop.
That's
How can it
a
not-
mistake.
That's gotta be that.
No.
Greg, do me a favor. Call mom. See if she'll try right now. Oh, Jesus Christ. But the light, how could the light bulb be up there?
I have no idea. And it went in the big part first. It's crazy. And it didn't break.
Why?
And his excuse was he fell off the ladder.
Well, yeah. You can see he fell right on a lamp.
He was changing the light device, like the light, and he fell backwards and he landed on it. This glass light bulb that somehow went inside him and didn't break.
What was he changing a light bulb naked?
Well,
Joey, he's lying. the guy's
Oh.
lying.
No, but to me, if this is what the guy's telling me, I'm quizzing him on it because
Yeah.
I'm going to keep asking you questions until you tell me the truth, you idiot.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight, sir. You were up on the ladder, changing this light bulb, and there was another light bulb underneath you, and you were naked.
Yeah. And what was the spotter of the ladder doing while you were up there?
You know how you get it out, right? You take a lamp, you screw it,
Put it in,
yeah.
twist, whoop. You know what? Maybe that's what they did in surgery.
That's it.
All right, on that one note, everyone, let us know what you think of our picks. Email us at top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. That's top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. Check out all of our merch on Amazon. Type in Joey Cassata. You'll see all of our merch, top 5 t-shirts, Ernie t-shirts, Doctor t-shirts, all the fun stuff up on there.
When is my thermometer t-shirt coming?
You know what? We got to get a little. Maybe we might have to get a Greg T-shirt up there. I see something with a thermometer in the near future with sensitive shaving cream going. I think
this one's hot.
It writes itself. If we have any designers out there, if you want to design a new Greg T-shirt for Top 5, you have some very, very good material from tonight's episode. Please send us your designs to top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. Greg, let everyone know where they can find you again. If you want to find Greg, grab a light bulb, stick it
actually,
somewhere.
GregProsser.com. That'll work. GREGG Prosser.com.
Greg is an incredible actor. He's got movies out there. Please go check out his website. He's always got new stuff coming. I know you just filmed something recently, right, Greg?
Yeah, I did the FBI, and I just directed my first short film. Should be out shortly. Hopefully, go on a festival run with it.
Very nice. Ern, how about you? What's going up coming up in the near future?
I got nothing going on whatsoever.
Remember, Ernie, Playground Reunion coming. You are the manager. You have to be there.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We will see you next time.